Hi guys, we're going to have a look around at ARCONA 435 Mark II. Up with this sugar scoop, you do actually have a bathing platform which doubles up as your staple for your safety lines. These are performance luxury cruisers, so you have sort of 3 boats mixed into one. Each helm, which is pretty standard nowadays, you have a step that you can put up when you're on the hill, make life a lot more comfortable when you're standing at the helm. And as you can see, both port and starboard you have aft lazarettes. We'll just pop one open. So as you can see, lazarette gives you access to your steering quadrant. This is a single rudder, unlike the 50, which is twin rudder, and then access to some of your electrics from your pedestals and so on. These are normally set up as Jeffer steering, and there's more of the components for obviously all your chart plotters and that sort of thing over there. This space underneath here is absolutely huge, and as you can see, it is set up for putting, you know, hanging your mooring lines, other bits and pieces, spare sheets, put your fenders in. There's enough room for paddle boards and that sort of thing. Right, port side, you have your emergency manual bilge and your shower, so you can stand out the back and have a freshwater shower. Obviously you have your hot and cold tap, something which I think is super sexy. You have lovely carbon wheels and you're on pedestals, really nice security grab handles here, and a large B&G Zeus 15-inch chart plotter. Pop over to the starboard side. Once again, you have this pedestal, so you'll see that the starboard pedestal is a little bit bigger. If you wish, I should have shown you on the port pedestal, but you've got a little gadget here, so you can change the angle on how your chart plotter is. So it's good for sun glare, or if you're sort of sat down on the side, you can obviously change it so you can see it better. Yeah, it's really cool. If you wish, have an autopilot or repeater wind instruments put there. And then down here you have your Yamaha start-stop, power and throttle controls. Shore power is just neatly under here, and your remote B&G VHF radio is there, and your bow thruster is here. Myself, I'd rather have that up at the pedestal, but I should imagine the owner has optioned to have it there for some reason. I don't know why. And here you can see you have electric controls for your main sheet traveller, starboard, port, so making the traveller go left or right, and your traveller just in front. If there was a boom on the boat, you'd be able to see, you know, it's the performance side of it. You get more downforce because it's right at the back of the boom. You can have your sail as far out if you're going as downwind as possible. Try and trim your sail if you're going upwind as much as possible, maybe even over trim. Now you do have a cockpit table on this boat. Don't let this thing in the middle, the step in the middle, be misleading. When you're sat down, it gives you a really good, you know, if you're club racing on the regatta, gives you a really good spot to put your feet. Your table just pops up on gas struts. This goes down, and then you can take the leaves out of your table. So really neat solution of being able to put your cockpit table away, transform your boat from cruiser to racer. And then back to Club Racer. Okay, starboard side, we'll go up this side. Port side mirrors it. But you have a Harcon 46 self-tailing 2-speed electric winch. And then forward, a Harcon 60 self-tailing 2-speed electric winch. You've got some blocks and so on to bring all your lines. Well, I'd like to actually get out on another one of these under sail. Maybe we can do a test sail sometime. Something which I think is really cool. It's obviously hard to see at these boat shows. So you imagine you have your main halyards and your reefing lines and so on coming through here. You have tail ends. Instead of having a line bin within the cockpit, your tail ends can actually be plonked down into here, and these winches, everything is coiled up nicely afterwards, and you'd have maybe a tail end bin, so when you're all finished, popped in just down there. Spray hood, folded up and covered up, and then coming forward you have access starboard and port to a pontoon. This boat's actually being fitted out with real teak, which is very nice, and stainless steel grab handles all the way through, and up on the coach roof here some non-slip solar panels. Two huge Luma opening hatches in your saloon. As you can see, they're absolutely massive, so we'll see those when we go in. And then down along the side you have your Genoa tracks. It would normally have outboard shrouds, and then your mast, flush hatches all the way through. It's really nice. I mean, even if you didn't have the option of teak decks, if you had the teak stripe all the way forward, really sexy, you know, it's just one of those things. It's really, really nice. Now, business end, they are in-deck or flush electric furlers. So Genoa, your windlass, which is a quick windlass, flush here. You do actually have a water point there to clean the chain and anchor off, and the anchors on these are actually set underneath your bowsprit. On your bowsprit you have a spot for a code 0, code D, spinnaker, Jenica. You get quite a variety of sail plans with these boats. Your electric windlass controls, anchor locker obviously is forward on this, and then you have a huge cavernous sail locker with bits and pieces, so for all your spare sails, and you know, if you've got some spare sheets and halyards and other bits and pieces. And there is a chain plate set into this crash bulkhead, by the way, so it's a watertight bulkhead, so that if you wish you can have a staysail or a jib, you know, set up a pretty neat sail plan. Okay, at the Companionway, port side, we'll do this side. It's mirrored on the starboard side, except for that's electric. You have a 46 Harcon self-tailing winch. Bank of clutches from your mast going in underneath, so everything comes in under through the deck into your clutches. Boom. I think what's quite nice, I'd say anybody, even if you have an older boat and you have winches forward, have yourself a block or a turning wheel or something so you can bring a halyard across to your electric winch. And this, once again, it's a 46 Harcon self-tailing, but it's 2-speed electric. And if An electric winch is too much, especially to change over for you, then get an e-winch handle. I'll leave a link for that in the corner so you can have a look, see what e-winches are all about. They have a new product which we haven't covered yet. We're going to do a factory visit just before the Cannes Boat Show. They have a new winch system that you can set up. So if you're changing your old winches on your own boat, they have a new winch system that you can change over. It's actually financially viable, really good bit of kit. Your washboard or companionway is nicely hidden away here. And before we go down the steps, you have your B&G repeaters. You can set these up however you want. And then they're quite steep steps, but you go down a long way into this boat. It's okay if you want to. Give you a quick pano before we go and have a look in the cabins. Give you a quick pano. It's kill step mast. There's several options, keel options. So we'll do the starboard cabin while we're here. You have a large double starboard. There are choices of wood, so if you want European oak, you can, and there's a fuse board in this particular one. Double bed, ventilation out into the cockpit. We'll see you have an overhead locker over there and storage here. There is a plug up in this corner with USB charging too, and a nice port light. Have more space under the benches here because there's no lazarette, and behind the door there's nothing. Coming out of this cabin, just so you can see once again up into the cockpit, there is another overhead hatch, and you have a wet heads starboard side. So this one's actually been set up with a manual saltwater flush, but you can have it as a freshwater electric if you wish. Base price for this, or with the options, how this boat is actually optioned out in the show, is about 385k before VAT. That's euros. Stainless steel sink and a drop down mirror cupboard and storage there, and access a really good wet locker. I don't know if you can see it, but you have a heater fan there. There is actually one down in here, so if you've got your wet weather gear, you can hang it up in here and it will dry out. You're not having to worry about condensation or anything like that. And there is an opening hatch in your port light. It's Luma glass, so you know it's quality stuff. And then coming over, actually I'm going to do the engine now while we're here. So there's your Yamaha. You can see your filters, dipstick. No comments or rude ones please about dipsticks. And then obviously your saltwater inlet and so on. In the cabin, I think it's this one here, there is actually a side access to get in there. And then port side, you have another aft double. I quite like it because you have so much storage back there. Instead of having a tender garage and stuff like that, you don't need the lazarettes in the cockpit. You just don't need those lockers, so that gives you more space in your cabins. Once again, you have a opening hatch there and one here, and a really nice port light, and the cupboards are the same. Okay, port side, you have an L-shaped galley. Really nice fiddles, so you know, coming forward and so on. If you didn't see it, we actually picked up and delivered a Arcon 400 from Palma this last year and got attacked by orcas, so I'll leave a link for that up in the corner. Two gimbaled burner stove, gas, and once again real wood drawers and stuff, and you have a wooden inlay for your cutlery. For all those that aren't interested in me opening all the drawers in the cupboards. Skip forward a couple of minutes, and then for my favourite, which is something I love on boats, is actually side, especially in your galley, sliding cupboard doors. Very, very practical. They're all vented, so you don't have to worry about condensation too much, and there is plenty of storage for, you know, olive oil bottles and spices and all that sort of stuff there. This one's been set up with a microwave oven, and then you have a top loading freezer just to the right of the cooker. Another one here, or you can have it fridge, freezer, however you want, and then a twin stainless steel sink. I'll be 2 minutes. Storage underneath the sink with your waste bin and so on. There's quite a lot of cupboard space on this boat, you know, being that it's only 43 foot, and a really handy pull-out stainless steel fridge. It's awesome, and obviously storage underneath. There is access to your tanks. We're not going to get to it we're not going to get to it on this tour, that I can tell you. And then starboard side, you have your nav desk and switchboard, or workstation now, because we've all got laptops, you know, not a bad spot. So once again, a B&G Zeus chart plotter, VHF radio, fusion stereo. These are your light switches. They're nice, very tactile. Oops, there we go. We'll put the lights back on. Red light for when you're on night watch, and your main switch panel, so you know you can see what's written on there. VHF, chart plotter, navigation lights, anchor lights, and so on. Pumps, you have your water tank, fuel, and for batteries and everything else. And if we have a look, you'll see behind here your Victron kit. We're going to have a look at Victron. If I've already done the video by there, I'll leave a link up here for you, but you'll see everything is numbered so that you can have a look at the catalogue, have a look at the list to see what it's referenced to, so it's really quick and easy to troubleshoot any of the problems. Just close that up, come out of everybody's way.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Coming forward, both starboard and port, you have by the windows here, it's actually, it looks smart, but it's actually a grab handle, so there's always something to get hold of when you're coming forward. And then you have a sea berth if you want, so you can have clips set up here for lee cloth if it's necessary, you know, if that's what you need. And then there is some storage here, and your speakers, fusion speakers, are hidden away quite nicely in there. And then over on the port side, a really nice U-shaped settee, and can have a sea berth here if you want. Pretty much mirrors the starboard side, and then you have lockers over there. And as I said, it's a deck or keel step mast. And folding out your table, you pull this slide out, table folds over, so you know you're going to get 6 to 8 people comfortably around this boat. And it should be all essential bottle storage underneath. Coming forward into the owner's cabin, so this is all one level, this boat, so you have one level living. It's a full V-berth. It's a very, very big V-berth. There's no Tootsie being played on this one, and a really nice seat on the starboard side to sit down, chill out in. It should be nice to come in here from time to time. A massive opening hatch, and obviously pull that across, your privacy blinds, or mosquito nets. It's all pretty standard stuff. I'll only open one of these overhead lockers. I don't really want to go crawling on the bed. So you've got loads of space. 4 of those, obviously, 2 starboard, 2 port, and reading lights forward. This is what I mean when I say it's a really big V-berth. You know, you can sleep whichever, the camera doesn't do it justice, but you could sleep whichever way round on this berth and still have plenty of room. So the reading lights have USB charging points on them, and then just behind me you have a wet heads. And I know that it can be, well, they've got it set up here with a curtain, but you can have plexiglass doors made to fold out so you keep this section dry. This is a manual saltwater flush. You can have it electric, fresh water if you want to, stainless steel sink, and then you have some nice cupboards there. And there is your shower area with an opening hatch. I'm going to get out of here because there's people that want to come in. So if you like this tour, if there's any information you want, we're going to have another opportunity to look at these boats later on in the year, and more than likely, I'm not 100% but 99% sure, we're going to do some test sails, which is going to be really cool, especially if it's out in the Solent. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.